Oh my God.
13.
Episode 13.
Lucky 13.
Lucky 13.
Lucky 13.
Are we,
Wow, man. Where have we been all this time? The last time we saw each other, Reagan was president.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, guys, are we on television?
Hello?
Yeah, are we on television? Or on YouTube?
No, we got a couple of people here from YouTube. They showed up. YouTube executives, the camera crew. We've got them all in our rooms right now.
Yeah. Are we back?
We're back. I mean, can you believe it? This is not a dream. This is the real deal.
Yeah, we are back. We took a
We
break.
had to move our home office, right?
Stacy, tell Anthony, tell him where we're at. Where's the new home office at?
Yeah, it took a couple weeks to move, but now we moved to Chugwater, Wyoming.
Chugwater, Wyoming, people.
Yeah.
Chugwater, Wyoming.
Yeah,
Very
yeah, we had to move
interesting
to Chugwater, so that's
Yeah.
why Stacy's in a different room.
Yeah, she is. She's in a different location right now.
Yeah,
and yeah, she's actually in Chugwater, Wyoming.
Yeah.
She's doing inspection. She did a pop inspection.
Mhm.
There was a little bit of a lag going on. There was some deep sexual harassments going on in the office.
Yeah.
So Stacy had to get out there and straighten everybody out.
Yeah.
So-
Skulls.
right.
Yeah. Mhm.
right.
People were wondering she's in a different location.
Exactly. She's not in witness protection. She's
No.
in our
Right.
Chugwater, Wyoming home
Yeah.
office.
She's okay. Everyone, she's okay.
Okay.
She's
doing
doing
I'm in a
well.
I'm in a horse farm getting
She's in a horse farm,
therapy.
literally.
A horse
Literally.
farm. Wow.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
horse farm. My
Stacy,
God.
where are you, Stacy?
I'm right outside Nashville, Tennessee, and
Nashville,
my
Tennessee.
husband and I are looking at properties, and we may have found one, which includes inheriting 2 horses.
Yeah.
So,
That's great.
And it's-
in the
it's-
back. There's a picture.
right.
Of
It includes an Airbnb business, so we'll be trading in our corporate lives for
Nice.
Airbnb, horse farm, chickens,
awesome.
and
That
the
is
farm is beautiful, and if we get it, there'll be more pictures to come. So
I can't
Great.
wait to go down there and do
So
the
cool.
Rocky Files live on
On a
the horse
farm.
farm. I can't
The
wait.
horse farm,
Oh,
yeah.
Can you imagine that?
okay,
so cool.
see, now I definitely want to buy
Now,
it.
now you got to do it.
Yeah.
Now I like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll
However-
be fun. It's beautiful. Mhm.
However, I have one small correction I'd like to make here because at the end of the show, I'll now sound like an idiot. So a lot of people, most of you know, sometimes we film segments of a episode out of order.
Out of
We'll,
sequence.
we'll film an interview first, and then we'll do an outro, and then the intro
Hollywood
last.
tricks.
Right.
Yeah, we're very complicated here at the Rocky Files podcast. So at the end of the show was really the beginning for the 3 of us in a way, and I was teasing that someone might be moving to a farm, and here
And here we
Stacy just
are.
went ahead
She
and
is, yeah.
I'm
that's
sorry.
yelled it out loud.
Right. Yelled it
So
out loud, yeah.
So-
That's okay.
so I'm not losing my marble. Well, I
No.
probably am losing my marbles a little bit, but
No.
at
We're a
any
little out
rate,
of sequence.
This
It's
is
okay.
we're a
the
little out of
prequel.
sequence. But
This is
we
the
are
prequel to that.
we are incredibly happy for you,
Yeah.
Stace, and I hope it all goes forward because
Yeah.
this is something I think I think it's going to be a complete life change for you should it all go forward. So good luck with it.
In an amazing way
excited.
too.
Yeah.
And you know who did some of his best work recording in Nashville?
Oh,
Come on, guys.
Elvis.
Hey.
Elvis. I forget. That's right. Elvis.
Elvis.
Elvis the
cool.
pelvis.
Elvis the
Nice. Nice.
I
Elvis
had to.
Presley.
You're talking
Boulevard.
about Tennessee.
I
Okay, so
forgot. I forgot.
some of his best work out there in Nashville.
Some of his best work. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Now, Anthony, what have you been doing in these last 2 weeks? Nothing.
Not
Everything's
too
been
much, to be
perfect.
honest.
Everything's been great. No problems.
Everything's been so good on this end. Yeah.
That's good to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah. Well, whatever. We're okay. We're okay.
You're okay. Life
Yeah,
is coming
yeah.
together. Fine. You're still
Yeah.
employed.
I'm still employed.
Good.
We're okay. Sandra had a little bit of a back thing, but she's fine.
back
She's
thing. She's
fine.
doing good.
Yeah, she's fine.
Well,
So-
tell her to stop bench pressing like old.
Yeah, really. Yeah,
Cadillac.
I think she took
You-
some. Yeah, she
you
came
sent
down
me
here
the
one day.
Yeah, you sent me
to
the
try
video.
my- yeah, she tried some of my dumbbells.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Tell her she can't go right to the 70 pounder. She's got to
Yeah,
start off with the
right,
10
no.
pounders.
Start off with the 5s and the 7.5s, and then
Takes a
build
while to
it
run
up.
with the big dogs. That's right.
Yeah.
It takes a while. It takes
Yeah,
a while.
it does. take some time. But no, we're okay. Well,
Good.
you went somewhere.
Yeah, I went to the
You
Outer
had
Banks.
something going on.
Yeah. My wife was in a wedding, a whole bridal party thing. Lovely thing that went on down there at the Outer Banks. I didn't have a lot to do. I drove people from A to B. I picked up pizza for the bridal shower and all these girly things. But basically, I had a lot of time to myself, so I did some reading. It's a beautiful location we were at, right on the beach, overlooking the dunes and the water and all that, and went down to Roanoke Island, which is, for those of you who don't know, different than Roanoke, Virginia. Lest any of you get confused, Stacy.
Sorry.
So Sue and I did have a lot of fun there, and what else? We the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel thing. I went over that. I went going down and coming back, went over that. That's a miraculous thing.
That is cool sounding.
17.5 miles. This thing goes out into the Chesapeake Bay and connects Virginia with North Carolina. I mean, it's awesome. Incredible. It really is.
17 miles. That's wild. 17
miles, 105 feet below the surface, the tunnel. And of course, I did a bunch of daylight things in the car. I was just,
did you think of daylight when you were? Was there traffic at one point? And
there was traffic
going up ahead.
There was a bit of red lights, and there's a scene,
and then there's like some water shooting out the side.
They're really good with like this special effects here. I thought, boy, they really make you feel like you're in a movie here, huh? Like a disaster movie.
Yeah, they made like the stop traffic.
Yeah, she turned into like Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park, and she looks in the side view mirror. She sees the water coming, and she goes, "Must move faster." And so she just drive faster. But it was good. We had it was nice. Cool. There was just enough downtime to spend and have some fun, and it was great. So the wedding was lovely. The happy couple got married, and
that's great.
Lightning didn't strike anyone, and
it
was good.
Yeah,
but I missed you guys.
Beautiful. Oh, did you? Yeah,
I missed you guys. Yeah,
missed you guys.
We missed yous. Yeah, for sure. We missed yous. We missed all our peoples.
I know. I kept getting messages. Here's how my father. I know my parents don't always listen to me, right?
Right.
I told my father twice before I was going to the Outer Banks, Dad, we're going to be off for 2 weeks doing the podcast, so I'm not going to be around. 2 days before the actual wedding, I'm walking on the beach. I get a text from my father. Mickey, is the podcast going on tonight? Dad, we're not having a podcast tonight.
He needs something to watch.
Yeah, he does. And I was talking to my mother, I think 2 days or 2 days later, she goes, "Oh, your father forgot, but we enjoy the show so much." She said, "You three really have something special going." So, nice. That's a good thing. When my parents are wondering where I am, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
No, we don't know him, as opposed to where is he?
Yeah. Is your son the one that does that show? No, I don't know.
No. Rocky? No. My kid's a Wall Street banker. I don't know.
No, they're like, Mike, why aren't you on tonight? Why aren't you on tonight?
Exactly. There's some, even my brother even texted me, because I didn't tell my brother I was leaving to go to the Outer Banks. He knew I was going down there, but he didn't know when. And so we're in the room. I think it was the night of the bridal party or something. And he just texted me and he goes, "Aren't you guys doing that podcast thing show anymore?" And I go, "Yeah."
Anymore.
I said, I'm at the shore here. What are you talking about? He goes, "Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. You could have brought your stuff, but we said, you know what? Forget it. It's fine.
Yeah, because there's something about doing the Rocky broadcast from the Rocky room here. There's something. It gives me a certain amount of focus and energy that I don't know that I would have elsewhere. It's something,
true.
Yeah.
Stacey, are you struggling with that right now? Or are you good?
Oh, I was happy to have the horses in the background because I'm like,
you
got
a little bit of it. Yeah, you got a little bit.
Some reach.
Right.
Yeah.
Some reach.
Yeah, so it's
something.
That was my environment right now.
So I wasn't sure what to talk about this week. I don't know. What do you guys got? You guys got anything? I got a few things I could talk about, but I was just wondering before I start, you guys got anything you want to bring up or talk about?
It's all you, darling.
We
Just
wanna
on
hear-
me, huh?
We want to hear the story that we have been waiting
Continue. You
for
gotta continue.
All
it.
right,
for
all
2
right.
or
Well,
3 weeks now.
yeah, I guess I'll continue. I'll
and
continue.
everybody else wants to hear it as well, so we're gonna talk about that.
All right. So depending on my rambling, I can either go long or go short.
Yeah.
All right. So we last
We'll
left
figure it
off.
out.
We last left off with the Kunda Chronicles, where little Mikey Kunda's grandfather
That's
gave
right.
him a black fedora and leather jacket.
That's right.
That's where I stopped.
Yeah.
But I guess we're going to pick up with how worried his parents were.
Yeah.
My parents literally had me lined up to go see a psychiatrist. They were a bit concerned I was taking this character a little too far. So anyways, there's a major problem. So I'm wearing this hat and coat around the neighborhood, wearing it to school, whatever, and it's a fighter. The only problem is I don't know how to fight because I've come from such a devoted, loving family. I never had to fight for my parents' attention. They were always very fair and devoted to my brother and I. So there was never any of that anger to get attention. Okay, so they realized, especially my mother, they realized I was going to need some backup. So if you're dressing like a fighter, we got to take him to fight school. But it's not exactly a fight school. There's a place over a bakery in downtown Scranton called the Scranton Karate Club. And it was run by a guy named Frank Trejanowitz. And one afternoon after school, my mother says, "Come on, Michael, we're going down." And I was a little nervous. And I was, I don't know, about 13 years old, whatever.
Yeah.
So we get down, sitting there. I'm like, oh, man, I'm watching them go through the karate techniques. And they taught boxing there, whatever. So they taught me how to hit the speed bag, taught me how to throw a punch the correct way. Then they have you go at it with another guy your age. And the first 40 seconds, get the headgear, the gloves, whatever. The first 40 seconds, I get hit about 800 times in the face.
Oh.
They don't tell you to block. They just think it's an instinctual thing. Well, they forgot how stupid I was.
Rocky
So,
Rocky
right.
didn't block either.
exactly my point. Thank you, Anthony. Point
Make
to
you a
Anthony.
truer
Right?
hockey fan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're a true fan.
Rocky just boxed with his face.
Right.
Okay.
Just took it.
So we go home. Mom is consoling me because I quit right there at the place and I'm never going back there or whatever. And so she's very understanding. Dad comes home from work. He's just as understanding, but he does something different this time. Now, we had a family friend. His name was Dick Scott, who had a TV repair business in a little town next to Scranton called Dunmore. And at that time, VCRs were like $700. They was ridiculous, but that was the peak of technology.
Yeah.
So he also sold used VCRs, and Rocky is going to be on TV for a second time. And now it's roughly 1980, 81, 82, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah.
And Rocky's on TV again. And my dad goes and buys this used VCR because we didn't have a Blockbuster near us. So I couldn't go rent Rocky.
Yeah.
And he records it for me. And every day after school, I'd come home, I'd do my homework. Then I would watch Rocky, or I would watch parts of Rocky. Whatever minuscule thing I learned from the real Jim, along with Rocky's own self-taught technique, I would then go down into my basement where my father bought a punching bag.
Mhm.
It was a dark blue Spalding Sugar Ray Leonard endorsed punching bag, and I would just emulate everything Rocky did with a touch of reality. And so that's how I learned how to move like Rocky moved in the movie and so on. And by the way, all of this is horrendous fight style. Right? You should never emulate Rocky's fight style in Rocky 1.
Right.
It's
Unless you wanna
horrible.
Get hit in the head, yeah.
Right. It's movie fighting, not real fighting.
Right.
So Danny Watley, you don't have
Yeah.
to, I know Danny Watley would be the first one to correct
Yeah,
me.
I just remember. I just thought about him too.
Oh yeah, I look like a
Yeah.
mental patient trying to fight this bag in my basement. But that's the truth because I was so taken by this character.
Yeah.
Anyways, after about 10 weeks of doing this, I resume wearing the hat and the coat, and I get into a few scrapes, nothing worth bragging about, but this time I don't run away. I don't cry. I fight back. I get my ass kicked, but I still hang in there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm roughly in the ballpark, 15, 16 years old, and I notice a co-species living on the planet with me. Yeah. Girls.
A co-species.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want a girlfriend. But
Yeah.
the problem is no girl will come near me because I am I'm literally, and I know my parents and Sue, they hate when I say this, but what I'm going to say is accurate. I was, in many eyes, an epic loser because of my pre-existing imaginative, I guess, place I came from. So no girl would really go on a date with me. So I thought, how am I going to change this? I thought, well, I could reinvent myself by working at a local grocery store where nobody from my school worked. So I said, okay. So I started working there, and there was this cashier. And so I asked her if she'd like to go to my winter formal. And she said, yeah. Mom, what do? I don't know. Never had a date before. And she said, Michael, get her a box of chocolate. Girls love chocolate. You can't go wrong with a box of chocolate. I go, okay, well, you were a girl once. I guess you'd know. Okay, I'm going to trust you. You're my mom. You're not going to.
Yeah.
Do you want to know who doesn't like chocolate? Type 1 diabetics. Okay. So the girl was a type 1 diabetic. And she thought I was. I didn't know. There was no tattoo. There was no bracelet, nothing, no t-shirt. So she throws the chocolate out, doesn't go for a date. Okay, fine. That's no problem.
What?
Another girl, she quits. Another girl takes over, and I asked her, she'd like to go to my, they were like victims. I asked another girl, I was like Dexter. You know Dexter, the serial killer, right? Dexter is a serial killer of serial killers.
Right.
So I was the Dexter of the dating world. No girl survived.
Oh my God.
So I asked the second girl, she wanted to go to the spring formal. She said, yes. Dad, what do I do? You go, Michael, get her a bouquet of flowers. Flowers are great. Girls love flowers. I get them for your mother. She loves them. I said, all right, well, you got me turned on to Rocky. You did the thing with the VCR. I guess you know what you're talking about. Flowers. You guys want to know who doesn't like flowers?
I was going to say, what, she have an allergy or something?
Girls who are asthmatic and highly allergic. Okay. So we're on the front porch taking pictures. She loved the flowers. She loved them. But she took a whiff of them. And she goes into an asthmatic attack, doesn't go to dance. Parents won't let her go. Okay, bye-bye. So, strike two. So now I'm a senior in high school. It's 1985, and I have the fedora and the leather jacket on. Now, I'm not wearing the fedora in the springtime, but I am wearing it at school, but I am wearing it November, December-ish, right? And as a senior, you get called down to the counselor's office, and all the seniors, one at a time, and they say, what do you want to do with yourself? And
I remember that.
Yeah, sure. And it's a legitimate question. Do you want to go to the service? You want to go to trade school, college, whatever? And so I'm sitting there with the fedora and the jacket on, and I tell him I want to be Rocky. And he goes, what, you mean you want to be a professional boxer? I said, no, try that. It wasn't for me. And he goes, you want to be an actor like Sylvester Stallone? I said, no, I want to be Rocky. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, I said, I want to dress like this and walk around the streets of Philadelphia, and I want to get paid to promote Rocky. And he goes, that's the dumbest thing in the world. He said, nobody's going to ever want it. It doesn't exist. I said, I know it doesn't exist. That's what I want. And I was trying to talk like Rocky with the crooked mouth and all that. But so then I stopped, and I just became me like I am now. And I said, look, I'm not crazy. You asked what I want. That's what I want to do. What am I going to do? I don't know. Probably work some warehouse job. Yeah. And you guys know that was the time in my life where I was probably the most terrified in my life. Not when I was in the police academy, not my first couple of months on the job as a cop, going to domestics where most cops get killed. Not my failures, with COVID hitting or anything. It was at that point because I knew no one would ever want to share a life with me who, I just couldn't play Rocky for the rest of my life. And I damn well knew what I wanted was never going to happen. It doesn't exist. Rocky is a fictitious character played by Sylvester Stallone. So you got to think of something else. The problem was I literally had nothing else I wanted to be. I would look around and I would see all my classmates. They knew they were going to go to college. They were going to be accountants, or they were going to be scientists or teachers or whatever, the army, trade school. Nothing. It was a blank slate.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I remember my mother and my father, they talk about it in The Pretender. They really, really wanted me to get an education. But high school was somewhat traumatic to me on some level. And I just couldn't go through another couple of years of learning. I couldn't do it. And plus, I didn't have the maturity for it. I wouldn't have given it 100% anyways. And we didn't have the money. My parents certainly didn't have the money. I didn't have the money. And that would have meant I would have had to work on top of through college, study enough of school. Hindsight, I don't know. I mean, I got freak luck is what I got to where I am now. What happened to me, the contest, all that stuff is freak luck. But there was a time I did, like when I was in the police academy, I thought, boy, maybe if I went back to school, maybe my parents are right. Maybe that would be the best way to go. But then, life takes over. A few things happen. And I was like, well, okay, I dodged that bullet, I guess. But I thought I'd leave that there for now. I'll tell a little more later. I'll pick that back up. What it was like. Maybe the next part of this is how I met the one woman that could deal with me, and because that's kind of a sweet story.
Yeah,
it involves Rambo and Sue. So that I'll pick that story up next week when we film.
I don't know about freak luck though. Stacey.
Well,
I don't think we agree with his freak luck.
Well, but you think about it. Everybody watching, I think, knows I won a national Rocky lookalike contest.
Yeah,
but I never entered that contest. It was freak luck. I don't know if I told that story. I didn't tell that story.
Tell that story.
I can't tell that story. I'm jumping way ahead.
Yeah, jumping way ahead.
All right, I'm adding it to your list then.
I'm in 1988 right now.
Okay.
That's 2006.
Yeah,
I got decades to go.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
I have a lot of failure to cover first. Okay. That's what makes my story so compelling.
Yes.
When I say a phrase like an epic loser, I don't mean I was this pathetic schlub. Maybe certain days, maybe like Saturdays in November in like 85 I was, okay?
Saturdays in November.
But when I say epic loser, I couldn't connect with people. I couldn't fit in. It's a funnier thing to say that in a story. But I mean, I didn't have a lot of the demons that other people have. I didn't have gambling. I didn't have drugs. I wasn't out stealing or thugging or whatever. It was nothing like that. I found a very hard time fitting into society. And that is a loserish thing when you can't fit in. Now it's not. I say that for dramatic effect and jokes, but I don't see myself as a loser. I don't. But to get the overall picture of how I saw myself at the time,
right?
Yeah,
that's where I'm coming from. So freak luck. When I do get to how the contest happened, that was all very freak luck. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't enter it. I had forbid everyone to enter me into it, and someone entered me, and it wasn't Sue.
That's neat.
There is luck. There is luck. Everyone needs a little bit of luck. But you were around.
There's a case that can be made, Anthony, that my own perseverance was part of that.
Yeah.
But it was also the kindness and generosity of strangers too.
Oh, you need help though.
Yeah, we all do. No one is an island. You know, we think we're this untouchable island. We do it all on our own. Nobody does it alone. Nobody. Right. We really do need the love and the gravity of others to have our backs and be there, because I would be a loser if it wasn't for some generosity from strangers.
You need people, you need luck, but look what you said back in high school where you're like, I want to be Rocky. Yes, okay, what you were saying was like, okay, well, you can't be Rocky, but you walked that path to doing what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean,
and in a way, you're doing what you said you wanted to do.
You're part of the brand. I mean, you're promoting the brand. You're part of the brand,
right?
Like on the street in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all I ever wanted.
You're doing it.
You're doing it, and
so you did it.
Yeah, and I think the person, whoever that person, that person knew that you were never going to enter yourself into that contest, You know,
right. They knew.
And so you owe them a big thank you, because I
can't wait to hear that.
That's validation for you. That's a big validation for you.
Whenever I see them, I never let them forget it. Never, ever, ever. It really is between Sue had done something that would become her staple move in everything going forward that happens in 2006. She would demand to take pictures. And I'm always like, all right, enough of the pictures already. And she was like, no, we're gonna take a picture. And she made a suggestion to so I was at Stallone's 60th birthday dinner at the Victor Cafe, and she saw me and Sly. We were talking out front for about 15-20 minutes, and she saw we were getting on very well, and she comes out and she says, Sly, if I don't get a picture of you two, he's gonna divorce me. And he goes, oh, come on. So we took this picture, and it was like 4 months before he went to Burma to film Rambo 4. And if she didn't take that picture, nothing happens. I wouldn't be talking to you guys right now. The tours wouldn't happen, the gigs wouldn't happen, the contest doesn't happen. Literally everything happens because of that photograph. That's crazy. Then someone else does something with it. And I'll eventually get to that story.
Oh my gosh, we got to create your list.
This is unbelievable.
I need the bullet points so we're not.
Yeah, no, I've got them down. That's what I was doing this afternoon.
This has to be the movie.
I know. If it was, it's called The Pretender.
It needed to be. I need longer though.
I know.
You could be a series, like this whole journey. Me and my writing brain is going. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You could do like one of those 10 episodes.
I know.
Netflix
web series,
miniseries or something. Just this journey it's cool. It's super cool.
The Pretender 2 on Netflix.
Thanks, guys. And like I'm a big believer in what George Costanza says. If I write down everything I've done in my life on a sheet of paper, it's decent. My life as a whole may be average, but when you take a look at the high points, it's like, wow, okay, that's something there. So I mean, it's all Rocky related, but I'm very happy about that. All right, enough about the Kunda saga for now. I'm sure people are just rolling their eyes.
Kunda Chronicles. That's what we're naming the miniseries.
The Kunda Chronicles. That's fine.
That was funny. That was perfect, Mike.
That's great.
Anthony,
writer.
We're working. I know she's the best. We've been working on a little side project that I think is going to happen in November. It looks more and more like we're getting confirmation. So Anthony had and I think was it a phone call, Anthony, or did you and I have a private text or something?
Yeah.
Or was it the three of us? I think it was just you and I out of the blue. We just texted one day.
Yeah, I just had like this thought, and I just texted you.
Yeah, and so it was. Go ahead, just say what your thought was, because it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was. I was just thinking one day, and I was thinking about Rocky 1, and I wanted to know how Sly not just came up with Rocky 1, but where his head was at before, even where he was where the idea was new.
Yeah.
To do Rocky 1, where was, because everyone knows what happened. He got the idea, wrote Rocky 1, and what happened there.
Right.
I don't know what happened beforehand. I don't know what he was doing in 75 or 74 or the genesis of how he was living, how he was thinking, what was going on in his head and life before Rocky 1.
Yeah.
I was like, I want a prequel of Stallone's life before Rocky 1.
Yeah.
So we were talking about that, and I thought, well, maybe one of these episodes I could kind of touch base on a little bit of that of some of the things I know.
Yeah.
Things he's either mentioned to me or that are direct quotes from him or whatever, things I have rattling around my brain. So I'll try to, I guess I should go a little on the short side on this. I know we're going to go slightly long here. So in 72, he was an usher at the Baronet Theater in New York. And that's where he met his first wife, Sasha. And that's really where he had the nucleus about this concept of stifled dreams, but he couldn't really put where to place it just yet. He didn't have a vehicle for it. So they get married, they move out to Los Angeles, and things aren't going any better for him out there. So he was really frustrated, I think, at that time in the 70s with anti this, anti that. He felt that there was almost a need for the silver lining in storytelling. And so in 75, he said it many times himself. He went to the Ali Wepner fight and he was watching it. And he said to himself, as the fight's happening, talk about stifled ambition and broken dreams. You know, people who sit on the curb as watching the parade pass them by as their dreams go down the drain.
Yeah.
And he had a love story idea. He thought maybe one way or the other, but no one would really believe about an actor, an out-of-work, struggling actor. He didn't think people would connect with that. So after the fight, he comes home for a few months and he lets this concept ruminate and I guess percolate in his brain. That's the word I'm looking for. Percolate in his brain. And he began asking himself, what did he want to see on the screen? You know, what inspired him? And it was raging optimism and the American dream. Mm-hmm. Now, the American dream then and the American dream today may be somewhat different, but the American dream is still the American dream for the individual. Mm-hmm. And that's what Sly hung on to. He really felt that patriotic call down deep. Yeah. So on his 29th birthday, he makes a wish, blows out the candle, and his wish is to get out of the crappy apartment, to have a career, have a life. Yeah. And to move forward. So he began to review his older scripts that were unsold. Nobody paid any mind to them. And he realized he was writing about these depressing losers who did nothing. They were all downer scripts. And he goes, no more. I'm going to just be positive. Because in the early 70s, you know, there was a huge focus on gangsters in The Godfather, on drugs like The French Connection, and on prostitution in the movie Klute. I don't know if you've ever heard of that movie, but Google it. Anyways, there was just a lot of down stuff.
Yeah.
And anything that was Capra-esque or cliche was deemed corny. Nobody wanted that at that time. Yeah. And Sly was like, you know, the USA was emerging from the horrors of Vietnam and the scandals of the late 60s and 70s and all of that. And Sly felt a overwhelming feeling of hope was sweeping the land or was about to kick in. He just had this feeling about it. And he thought, people, if they're looking for heroes, Sly wanted to do a positive character. And this concept of Rocky began to work its magic in his brain. Now, he understood that anyone could take a shot. Failure is okay. And love would conquer all. Perseverance wins out in the end. It does. It really, really does. But he wanted, like I said, he wanted the common man to be able to identify with the on-screen hero. And he just didn't think an actor, because he was going to write Rocky about a struggling actor because that's what he knew best. But then he saw the Ali Wepner fight and said, oh, wait a minute. That can be a catalyst. Now, they're very unique, different stories. And Rocky is Sly's creation in and of itself. That's his baby. Make no mistake about it. You know, Rocky had drive, intelligence, and the talent to be a fighter. I mean, maybe didn't have like college intelligence, but you know, he had good street intelligence, I think is a better word. But nobody noticed him. You know, that he was passed over. And then when opportunity knocks, they said, oh, hey, there's Rocky. He's pretty good. Well, that's the same thing that happened to Sly. He was passed over and passed over, just like how Mickey didn't give him any type of review. And same thing would happen on auditions. And so he put this into this giant funnel, and he incorporated some fight stories. He incorporated maybe some people he knew from the old neighborhood, not to mention his own story. He injected into this. And there you have the origins that went into, and this is me being very thin, very loose with this. I mean, you know, if we ever get Sly on the show, maybe in November to talk about it, maybe. I'm not saying he's going to be. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying maybe that's a good question to ask him, Anthony.
Yeah, really. I think so too.
We'll put you in charge of that question.
Sure.
If anything happens. I mean, probably won't do it, but if it does.
Yeah, but I got to have that one ready.
You should have it. You should damn well have it ready. Yes.
This was a new thought in my head. I swear I was just sitting around one day and just went bing, and I'm, you know, because I never thought of what happened beforehand. What he was doing beforehand. I never thought about it. I don't know. I was too young to even know.
Right. And Anthony, you just reminded me of something that our correspondent man on the street, Lorenzo, Lorenzo gave us something rather spectacular by going to the actual apartment house that Stallone was living in, renting with Sasha when he wrote Rocky.
Yeah. Sly even did. He had a post a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And he put a picture of it too, which was cool.
And our man Lorenzo went and tracked it down. He got it, and he really just gave it more of a little personal feel for the Rocky Files.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very grateful for that, Lorenzo. But yeah, that was where Sly's head was at back then. He had been writing all types of scripts before that. I think he was writing a script about a rock and roller who the only way he could stay alive was by eating bananas. Yeah. Okay. Then he had a cry full, whisper thin. I think they're very pretentious things by his own account. I'm not saying it's pretentious. He said it was.
Right.
But then he wrote some scripts. I think I don't know if it was the Angie Dickinson. What was her TV show? Policewoman. I don't know what it was back in the 70s, but she was like a female Kojak, and so he was selling things, but he just not at a rate he was happy with.
Does he have all that? Do you think he still has all his old notebooks? I would die to read some of the old stuff.
I know.
Can you imagine? How many people keep that stuff though? I mean, I know. Who knows?
So December 5th. I think Julian's Auctions. Sly is selling his Rocky notebooks. Yeah, he's
selling more, right?
Yeah. There are, I think, and I may be mistaken, but I think Sly said there are 3 red notebooks, and I have. Hang on, let me grab one of them.
Yeah,
I want to cry. I cannot.
I think he's doing another auction in I think it's Chile. Mike, is it Chile that he's doing this other one?
Yeah. Well, so it's. Yeah, that's where the replica that's where all the props are, and he just posted that video. Right. Why it's in Chile, I don't know why he shipped everything there. I'm not exactly sure the logistics. It was in London, it was in the UK. Yeah. I guess it's down in Chile. But here is that's Sly's writing, okay? And then inside are all Sly's scripts and notes for Rocky.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you buy, you can see over my shoulder over here, over right there, the yellow book.
Yeah.
You got an exact replica of it. Has Rocky 1, the Roman numeral 1 right here. Yeah. And this was his very first notes on Rocky, the very first pages. And it was very dark. It was very, very.
I heard that he had to. He changed it up because it was dark.
Yeah, very dark. Rocky was more of an opportunist. He wasn't the lovable guy that we know now, the easygoing, good-natured.
Yeah.
You know, give you a nice day.
Was it that he read it to his wife and she was like, no?
Yeah, his first wife Sasha, when she was typing it out or he was reading it out loud to her or whatever, she said, no, you can't make Mickey and Rocky hate each other. You can have them a little antagonistic, but don't make them so hateful. Because at the end of the original script, Rocky throws the fight. Rocky's ready to beat Apollo. He's ready to knock him out, and Mickey starts with racial slurs, and Rocky throws the fight thing. I don't want to win. If I win, Mickey wins, and I hate him. So
I don't like that idea.
I didn't, and that's why I just think having a woman's point of view, they may not always be right, but they're never wrong. If that makes sense, you know. So it's important to listen to your partners, you know. And in my case, in my wife, you know, but. You know, it's important. It's important. So that's just a little bit of Kunda Chronicles and Rocky talk.
I love these. I love it. So he writes Rocky 1 on the book.
Yeah, he wrote Rocky 1.
Why did he write Rocky 1? Was that like a subconscious like?
That's a good question. That's a good point.
I asked him Rocky. I literally asked that about a year and a half ago, and he wrote me. He wrote me exactly what it was. It wasn't like pre-planning Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3. It was Rocky Notebook number 1. Rocky Notebook number 2, and Notebook number 3. So he knew because like
there's so many rewrites.
Right. And that's what that was all about. And you know, the reading his if you can decipher his handwriting, but reading it's a head scratcher. I mean, you're like, wow. I mean, this was the initial, like Mickey's daughter, Micah. Mickey had a daughter, Micah.
Oh.
And she was kind of, from what I can understand, she was kind of like wallflower-ish. She was helping Mickey run the gym. But to get Butkus back, he remember he sold Butkus to Jimmy Gambino, the little guy, right?
Yeah.
So Jimmy Gambino wanted $1,500 from Sly to get the dog back, and Sly didn't have the money. So he writes him, he gives him the part of Micah Goldmill. He becomes Mike.
Okay.
Helping Rocky, helping him wins, run the gym. Yeah, which is kind of interesting. But all that, and
there's another prequel we got to see one day, the Mickey story. How about that one?
Yeah.
Oh man, there is a friend of mine from the UK wrote a script. It's an origin story about Mickey Goldmill. It is the most amazing ride I've been on in quite some time. It's a great script. And before Avildsen passed away, he read it and loved it. And he was considering optioning it. But Avildsen died. And I know Sly is aware of it. I don't know if he's read the script, but I know he's very, very aware of it.
Yeah.
And the guy that wrote it's a good friend of mine. And he's high up in the Hollywood chain. So who knows? Someday it could come to Netflix or
I'll tell you, I want to see all the, I want to see Apollo story before. I want to see Mickey's. I want to see Drago's. I want to see Clubber Lights. I want to see all of the stories beforehand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't you guys want to see that? I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're very layered.
And I really want to see Drago. I said this before, but I'd love to see Drago's after.
Yeah.
Oh, what he faced.
Of anybody, I want to see his after.
Yep.
Well, Anthony.
I really do.
Once again, my friend, you have somehow managed to segue.
I'm the segue master.
You're talking about a great story. You're talking about a great interview. Stacy, did we interview anybody this week? Is there anyone we want to talk about?
We brought somebody else.
Did we?
We did. She's famous, Joanne Yee. We got a hold of her, and I said, my dear, everyone wants to see you, hear from you, hear about your story.
She's famous.
She is so beloved by the Rocky community, and she has faced cancer not once but twice, and she is in the middle of treatment. We had a fantastic story. She had heart surgery when she was a kid. She's always had that can-do attitude, which makes it no surprise she's a Rocky fan. And I know that the community got together and sent her a beautiful painting. John Rivoli was good enough to send a painting her way. And so we'll get to see that. But she is coming up next. She's amazing. And I know so many people out there want to see her. So
Anthony, we have somebody from the production crew. Send him down to the green room. Let's go get her and let's go bring her in.
We're going to bring her in right now.
Oh, there she is. Hi, Joanne.
Hey, Joanne.
Joanne, welcome to the Rocky Files podcast. We've been really hoping to get you on here for a while, but it seems like you've been a little busy. Told our production crew talked with your people, I guess your secretary, Barbara. She said that you were having lunch with the mayor of Vancouver. Then you were on the set of 3, not 2, but 3 Hallmark Christmas movies. And you were just too busy to do our show. So we are so grateful to have you. Yes. Welcome. And you look absolutely fantastic.
Oh, thank you. And thank you guys so much for asking me to be on. I'm just so excited for this.
Thank you for squeezing us in.
Yeah, it's a privilege.
Oh,
yes, and for being patient with us, our vacations, our weddings, our work schedules. We all kind of got discombobbled for a few weeks here, so we appreciate your flexibility.
Here, right?
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Just like I said, still going through treatments right now. I'm about halfway through. And so far feeling pretty good, have those tired days, obviously, but it's going well so far, and just taking it day by day. And
Now, Joanne, going through the treatments, is there any time that you may pull on a certain Italian stallion to give you a little inspiration? Is there something that you use that you focus on to kind of help you through that?
Yeah. Some days, if I have enough energy to kind of go, you know, like maybe go walk around. I live in a really nice little small town. And so there's just, it's really great just to walk around that. So sometimes I'll just go, okay, you know, be walking around going, okay, one step, one punch, one round, let's go. Right.
Nice.
I just, you know, on those really kind of tiring days, I'll kind of go like, I remember that going in one more round when you think you can't, you know, just makes all the difference. And so you just kind of give it that extra bit of gusto. And there's days like that for sure. Absolutely. And and then there's days where, you know, I'm out and about and everyone's like, oh, you're having a really good day today. And, you know, so,
right.
They enjoy getting me. I always pop in. I don't work very far from where I live. So it's like, everyone's always really happy when I come in and they're like, oh my God, good to see you. And so
that's awesome.
Nice. And what kind of work do you do?
I work retail for a drugstore called London Drugs.
Oh, okay.
So we sell a little bit of everything, electronics, food, home goods, you know, a little bit of everything, but
like a good old fashioned drugstore should.
Yes.
Nice.
Do they sell any Rocky stuff in that drugstore, by the way?
You read my mind. I was just about to ask that.
The closest thing I came to, and I did post it on my Instagram a while back, were these little socks, but they were like all like tiger theme and stuff like that. So like I have the tiger, right? I gotta get them.
You got
right. Of course.
Close enough. We'll take it.
Absolutely. Now, do you have a favorite Rocky of all the movies, including the Creeds? Is there one you gravitate more?
I do like the first one, just because generally, like, I always like to go back to the beginning of the story, the heart of the story. Right. So you can take a little bit from each one, and because, like I said, there's always something new and good that comes from each one, right? But I always just like to gravitate towards that first, you know, towards the first one. It's just, you know, the heart of the story, and
Exactly.
Joanne, tell me, you were excited to do episode 13 for a very specific reason. You want to talk about that?
Yes. Well, although it wasn't Rocky, the first movie I saw of Sly's was First Blood, of course. And I happened to be 13 years old. And I thought, wouldn't that be really cool? And it was like a regular Friday night back in the 80s. Brother of mine and I just, let's go grab a couple of movies Friday night, whatever. And we were searching around. We couldn't, you know, we picked one movie out and then we couldn't find it. And my brother actually, he says, oh, what about this one? This one's supposed to be really good. And it happened to be First Blood. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. Right on. We got 2 movies. Let's go. Whatever. Right. Never thought too much of it. And then I watched the movie 3 times that night.
Wow.
One the next morning before I returned it. But I was just so impressed with, you know, just Sly, his performance, his on-screen presence, and just, been a fan ever since. So
nice.
Going on 40 years now.
So First Blood was first, then Rocky?
Yeah, after that, it was just like I said, I just really loved the movie and I was just so fascinated. So it was like, after that, it was like, okay, I need to see whatever movies he's in. I want to see it, right? So after that, I think I saw the Rocky movies and you know, then whatever else came out after, you know, over time after that, right? But
so you're a Stallone girl in general. You're not just you're a Rocky fan, but not just Rocky. You're a Stallone girl across the board.
Just like the whole package.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Same.
By himself, all his, you know, just his general philosophy on life. And
Stacey, what's the Rocky reach out there in Vancouver? I know what it is here in Toronto. What's the Rocky reach out there in Vancouver? Are there others like you, or are you the only one?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm the only one. Like in high school, there was just a couple girls, but like now it's like, you know, when I talk about it, like everyone I know, they know like I'm a huge Rocky. They know who he is and all that, but it's just like they bug me. They're like, yeah, you're just an obsessed fan, and you know. But
passionate.
Thank you.
Yes.
Exactly.
Passionate.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been accused of the obsession, the O word. I don't even like to say it. The O word, yeah, obsessed. I don't like saying that because when people say things like obsessed, I always think of that boyfriend who is like, you know, stalking the ex-girlfriend, fighting the boyfriend, getting arrested, trying to burn the house down. So that's terrible. It's passion, right? Because Rocky's been a good influence for you, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Of course. So. Is there a certain philosophy about Rocky that you gravitate towards, or is it just in general that you just love the character?
Well, I do kind of, I just like that I think because where I was similar with Rocky is just because he was always that just want to go the distance. He doesn't care about the win or lose, and he just wants to go the distance and give it his all, and know inside that, you know what, okay, you know what, yeah, I did come out on top, or yeah, maybe I did, or and just the overall that persistence of never give up, and and I've always just kind of been like that since I was a kid, right? Like I'm always like positive and just, you know, well, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. There's always a way, right? Kind of thing. So, you know, I guess I gravitated towards that way. The
more we talk to people like every week, that's the underlying theme.
Yeah.
I see more and more. That's the, you know, the number one thing people take away from it is that never quit kind of attitude. But because that is probably the number one, I guess, moral of the story, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, perseverance wins.
Right.
Perseverance wins.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
now, what's your thoughts? Let me ask you this: what are your thoughts on the director's cut of Rocky IV?
Have you seen the trailer? It came out.
I have seen the trailer. It looks really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing the extra. What was it? 20? Was it 20?
40 minutes.
Yes, 40 minutes. Yeah.
Joanne, so we have to wait. We have to wait here.
I know, right?
We don't get a screening. We have to wait.
Yeah, I won't get to see it in the theater, but definitely, we got to see it at home. But they'll have they'll have the what is it, where you can stream it?
Pay-per-view or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
I've been getting on my tours, people have been talking to me, obviously, you know, about it's big news, and they're saying they're actually sad that the robot has gone bye-bye.
I'm not that sad about that.
I'm not that sad about it either, but it was so corny. When we look at it now, it's corny. But back then, it was this weird, over-the-top, extravagant thing that Rocky brought.
It was
It was cool. Yes. Yes, it was.
At the time. For the time, it was very cool.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a comic kind of release with the whole
definitely.
Paulie, but...
It's the interaction, between the robot and Paulie. It's just
she loves me. Oh,
she loves
me.
I love that.
I love that scene.
You love that scene.
I know.
Where Sly's like, but I mean,
I love the music it plays when it comes in for Paulie's birthday. Happy birthday, Paulie. I love that. Like that to me, that is classic. Now everyone knows Rocky IV is my least favorite of all the Rockies, but I still love Rocky IV. Don't get me wrong, but it's just, but that is something I think about seeing the movie without that in it, and I'm like, okay, it'll be an adjustment, you know.
That's
kind of interesting to see how they kind of how he worked it out, right? So
that's a good point, Mike. I never thought about that because now you're right. When we watch it now, you know what's coming next, right?
When classic line, sure.
So now you're gonna no matter what scene, I wonder how thrown off you're gonna be because in your head you're gonna be like, oh, that's and when it's not. I wonder how we're all going to be. Can't wait.
Well, just the trailer. I mean, I'm just watching the trailer. I'm like, and that's just what is it? 2 minutes,
right?
And I'm like, we got 40 more minutes.
I know, right? That's like
like Adrian and Rocky in the kitchen. What's that? What's that all about? Like, well, anyways, can't wait. That's so cool.
It's going to be really, really big. Now, John, let me ask you. I see you've got some really awesome paintings in the background there.
Yeah, I see one.
Rivolis, So, do you have like some favorite collections or anything memorabilia from Rocky that you really like or that stand out as your favorite?
I have here. I'll show you. I still have my
the original
Rocky III soundtrack that I bought when the movie came out.
That's a throwback. I love that.
Yeah, this is straight from the 80s. I hung on to this all up here.
Yes, it is.
Great condition.
Yeah. And
how did you keep it in such good condition?
You know, she didn't touch it.
Kept them stored. I actually forgot that I still had it.
Really?
And was just going, going through our storage room one day and looking through the records. I was like, oh my God, I still have this. I was so excited.
You got to get a frame for that. That's awesome.
I know, right? Yeah, because they have all those really nice sort of deep frames now.
Exactly. And what else you got?
Yeah. I sent 2 pictures. They're actually hanging on the wall above me.
Okay.
I bought those in the 80s. It's the picture. It's just a still picture of Sly in a black suit.
Oh, okay.
And you know, the classic Rocky 3.
Yes.
Right.
And we'll superimpose those.
They're kind of high up on the wall, so I can't pull them down to show you.
No, that's okay.
That's all right. We got them.
I just recently got my little Italian stallion.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Do you have a little person living with you?
You have a little person with
That's for the elf on a shelf for Christmas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Rocky on a shelf.
Rocky on a shelf, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
We
my
should
kind of
market that.
Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. We should market the 4 of us. We should market that now.
Rocky on a shelf.
I
That
love
is
that.
such a cool little robe.
You know what,
Right?
Stacy, put that idea down and send that into the home office in
Yes.
Chugwater, Wyoming.
Water.
Chugwater, Wyoming. We have Joanne, so you're the first to hear this. We have a new home office.
Yeah.
We had been in Henderson, Nevada, and they had just moved last week to Chugwater, Wyoming.
Yeah.
Chugwater, Wyoming. Ain't that a name?
Mike's lying. I'm sorry, everybody. He's lying. I'll be
Anthony's
honest.
lying.
We don't
They move around quite a bit.
We move around because we don't have a lot of money and we can't pay the lease, so they kick us out.
They kick us out.
They
Actually,
kick us out.
Actually, I should do this home office. It's actually a white van down by the river. And we got like 2 guys that stink of BO, coffee, breath, and they eat donuts, right? So that's it. They don't even, they're like some kind of psychedelic, and they get all our viewer mail.
Yeah.
And they're still waiting for some viewer mail. So if any of you want to write, we'll get the address up. It'd be great.
Yeah, write us.
Oh, too funny.
Right.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
What do you got there? I see something.
Yeah, I see something.
This, Mike, you'll love this. It's my Rocky Christmas sweater.
Oh my
I
goodness.
love that. I love
Rocky
that.
76.
Oh my goodness.
And
That-
on the back,
That maybe. Look at Mickey.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, like the ugly Christmas sweater.
Yes.
Rocky.
it's a beautiful, ugly Christmas sweater.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. There ain't nothing ugly about that.
No.
We
I
need to
gotta-
do that
right?
for our Christmas
I-
episode. We need to get
yeah.
Rocky
No.
Where
Christmas
can I
sweaters.
get one of
Yeah.
those bad boys?
Yes.
Christmas episode, yeah.
Did you find that on Amazon?
I'll show that. Yeah, I
Aw.
got it from what is it? Numbskull. They come from the UK. But if you just Google like ugly Christmas
Okay.
sweaters, there'll be a whole bunch
come
that'll
on.
come.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
That's happening.
Look at this.
Thank you.
But I haven't got it framed yet, but I thought I'd show. This is another beautiful Rivoli. That's the
Soulmates.
graciously sent to me for support and just motivation, and so that's.
Oh, that was the picture, right?
That's
right.
the- yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it says going in one more round when you can't. Going in one more round when you don't think you can. That's what makes all the difference in your life.
Yeah.
Aw.
That's what's up on my wall.
That's
And
amazing. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah,
It's
that's-
a beautiful, beautiful picture.
Yeah.
that was
Oh,
a
I gotta
great
put
group.
that
That
up.
was John Rivoli and Mike. You were part of that, and Nancy.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah,
Punching
Nancy.
and
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
John.
Yeah.
John Messina, I think.
Messina.
Messina,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I can't remember the whole group. There's more, and I
was a
apologize.
lot.
I know, yeah,
Yeah.
Nancy.
Lots-
and,
Lots of
Carol,
Rocky love.
Yeah.
Lots of
Yeah,
Rocky
for
love
sure.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rocky, what do you
fabulous.
call it? The Rocky Society is large.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, when you were a kid growing up, Joanne, did you ever say to yourself or think that Sly and Rocky would have the longevity? Like, did you think at this age you'd still be seeing new Rockies coming out in a movie? You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
not at all. Like,
Right.
I know.
just I mean, obviously, I knew he's a good actor, so you'd see his movies come out all the time. But just to see even now, just like the Rocky movies from this, like I said, the first one, 76.
Yeah.
So just to
Yeah.
still see it going like this, it's just like
It's insane.
I've never seen anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
well, that's the test
yeah.
of time right there. for
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nothing has this longevity other than, the only thing I can think of that's as close is like Star Wars, right? Like, they just keep pumping those out. But this, there's nothing like the Rockies, especially for the emotion.
Yeah.
Well, you just beat me to it because I'm like, I don't know. There's
Yeah.
nothing about Star Wars that, God, I'm going to get shot, but there's nothing about Star Wars that pulls me in. Like, I just got canceled from all of Star Wars world. There's no emotional
You
connection
can't
for
do
me
any
at
Star
all.
Wars shows. Yeah.
Sue doesn't get it either. She doesn't get Star Wars. I literally had to duct tape her and fish hook her eyelids open to watch The Mandalorian, and she loved The Mandalorian. Actually,
really, because Sandra gave up. Sandra gave up. She gave up.
Oh, did she?
She gave up. Yeah, she couldn't do it.
No, and Sue is borderline anti-Star Wars. And she loved it. Even though I should send you the picture. When I was unemployed one year, I don't pick a year. I made this homemade Darth Vader costume. It came out really good. Goodness. But I needed a companion to go with me to these Halloween parties. And so I bought her one of these store-bought Princess Leia costumes, and she's got the Cinnabons on the side of her head. I gotta find that picture and just put it on.
Please
you get a kick out of it.
Yeah. Star Wars. Hey, I love Star Wars. I do personally.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, that's like I love the whole saga. But Rocky's got that emotion. He just
it's just something that the Rocky. You can just keep adding to it, and like I said, as time goes on, you could, like I said, with Sly's philosophy on life, and it just adds to it, and just adds so much more, right?
It's more like hits home. It's more real world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, Joanne, I'm not gonna let you go just yet because I got two questions I want to ask before you go back to the movie set of the Hallmark movie.
In the wet coast.
Yeah. So my first question is there one scene in all the Rocky movies that grabs you literally by the throat and won't let go? Is there something that you just say, that's the one scene, if I could just watch that scene, I feel a little bit better? And if there isn't, don't feel bad about it. I mean, if it's just a montage, that's okay too.
I know I know one thing that's kind of, I always really love the end of the first one, where they just, at the end of the ring, that's all they care about. They just confessing their love for each other, him and Adrian, and that's all they care about in that moment. It's like, he doesn't care that he's just went the distance in the biggest fight,
right,
in his career. And, I just love that. And the other thing, I can't remember if it's Balboa or Creed, but the whole, like, that ain't you speech, like,
Balboa, sure. It ain't all sunshine and rainbows. You're better.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just love that speech. It's like, it ain't about how hard you hit. It's hard
chills.
You get it and keep going.
Just you saying those words gave me the chills. Then I reflect back to them saying it, and it's just absolutely just brilliant.
Yeah.
Now we have a tradition, at least on this show, and we like to ask all our guests.
Yeah.
Joanne, 30 seconds in an elevator. Alone with Sly. What do you say to him? Go.
Oh my God. I think I'd probably razz him first. Go, you look really familiar. Have I seen you somewhere before? Let's see if I can get a laugh at him. But sorry, I'm just gonna, there we go. I would say, says, I've followed you for almost 40 years now, and it truly makes me happy to see you so happy in your life with Jennifer and the girls and finding your happily ever after. It's been a pleasure being your fan all these years. I always look forward to your new projects and new advice, words of wisdom that you have for your fans. And thank you for making me punch through life and never giving up.
Oh, well done. Well done. I like that.
You nailed that one.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And I thought about it, and I thought,
that's a good one.
There's a lot of things he's probably heard a billion times in his life. And I just thought, what, that kind of really resonates. It's following him for so long. It's really nice to kind of say, to find him, see him find his happiness and just be at a good place in life. And just, and that makes me really happy for him.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's so sweet. Yeah. You're a sweetheart, Joanne.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
We love you here, that's for sure. She was in our first episode, by the way. Love that.
Yeah, I remember
her video.
Yeah, the happy birthday.
Yeah.
We're gonna replay it. I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
No, that was great. Are you kidding? I loved it. I loved it.
I actually have the hat. This is the hat. I actually found this in a Halloween store, and it was the year of the big election.
Oh, great!
And so they had lots of U.S. stuff. So I just, when I saw this, I was like, oh my God! It just reminded me of Apollo's
hat.
My husband had bought me the Rocky shorts.
Oh, right.
My birthday, and I thought, okay, with this coming up, when you guys did your first episode, I thought, perfect. I got to do something.
That was you became like the unofficial Apollonia Creed or something. Like that was really good.
She was the star, that's for sure.
No, but to do that, we appreciate that because, you know, we didn't know what we're doing and we just wanted fans who loved the character and to show it as best they could. And you certainly did that. Yeah. You really did. Now, Stacey and Anthony, before we let this movie star go, is there anything else you guys want to ask her before we let her out of here?
Anthony, do you have a question?
I just want to know, what is your favorite, because I love the Rocky music. I want to know what your favorite Rocky song is. Of all the Rockies, what's the one that pumps you up the most or even hits home the most?
Well, currently it's going the distance.
Mm-hmm. Currently, I like that you say that because it always changes, doesn't it?
Yes,
it does. Yeah, like of course. I mean, I still do, but even back in high school, of course, it was like Eye of the Tiger, right?
Right. Oh my God! Right.
On the soundtrack, I love the going the distance. I just love the sound of like the bells and that, because it's just like you just picture in the movie, Rocky's down and Apollo Creed's got his back turned, and you know, and he turns around and Rocky's there going, "Come on," and and it's like he's like just like rising from the ashes, and it just makes you go, okay, you know what? Yes, let's go. Yeah, kind of thing, right? That's my current favorite. Yeah, is the going the distance.
Going the distance.
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Joanne, what I was impressed with when we talked prior to this a few weeks ago now is as your can-do attitude, the way you were like, oh, no problem, we'll get through it. I'm like, no wonder she's a Rocky fan, because you're naturally that way. You're naturally like, I will beat this. And if it's okay with you, and if you don't mind, just a moment. I'm so impressed. You're not facing something just once, you're facing it twice right now.
Yeah.
And so if you don't mind, just quickly letting them know about your cancer diagnosis and what you're going through, because this is where your philosophy that you do naturally is really coming in, and Rocky's giving you that boost. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically 4 years ago, originally, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Went through treatment, everything went great. And for the first couple of years, you know, you kind of have that wall up. You're kind of like not really afraid, but you're just, like I said, you have that wall up. And then after about 3-4 years, it was like, okay, you know, I'm just, it's going to be okay. And just, you know what, get on with life, enjoy. Don't be afraid to do things that make you laugh and smile, and just go live life. It doesn't matter what's going to happen in the future, whether it be a year or 20 years from now. And so then, like I said, it's been 4 years. And back in the beginning, I think it was March, April, I went for some routine heart tests because I had heart surgery when I was little. And so now they watch me more because I'm older. And those fortunately came back perfect. But they're like, oh, the scan found a mass. We need to look more into this. And we don't think it's, we don't think it's anything to do, but just to be on the safe side. Okay. So went through numerous CTs and whatever other kind of tests. And so I said, well, we're going to do a biopsy. So like, okay, yeah, good idea. So, and I wasn't expecting it to hear the word this soon, at least. I didn't think it was something I would never have to deal with again in my life.
Right.
To have it all of a sudden, it's like, okay, well, it's only been 4 years. And, so it was definitely a huge surprise, but it's like, okay, well, got to deal with it and just, take it a day at a time, and, whatever comes, and you can't control, and I'm still kind of keeping up the positive attitude each day, because you can't control what's going to come in the future, whether it be good or bad. And so it's like, I just choose to live in the now, because,
that's all we have, right?
Well, whatever happens, if it's bad, at least I can look back and go, you know what, at least I was still living life, not afraid to live life, being happy, and just, like still laughing and smiling, and
No, you're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. And when we first started talking about it, you're like, I'm going to be wearing a Rocky t-shirt to every chemo treatment.
I did. And there's a couple of the nurses, they started to take notice. They're like, oh my God. They're like, is that Rocky on your shirt or whatever? Right. There's two in particular. They always know. So like, okay, what one you got on this week? And
that's so cool.
It's awesome, right? And I always paint my nails to match.
So
they get a kick out of it.
You're going through treatment with flair and style. I don't know anyone who's doing that.
Right.
And that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just thought, well, if I got to go through it, I'm just gonna.
So proud of you. So proud of you, Joanne.
Yeah, good for you.
You're gonna do very well.
Yeah,
you're gonna do great. I have no doubt.
Yeah. So, like I said, I get one more treatment next week, and I think I get a break. But they're going to do a scan at the beginning of November, so hopefully I'll be able to provide an update.
Yeah,
that
hopefully,
things are good
totally.
and
Right.
You let us
going in
know.
the right direction. And
yeah, let us know. But the whole community would just. Oh my gosh!
I know.
You're like famous right now. I mean,
very much so.
Loves you. Loves
they
you
do.
So much.
They really do.
Yeah.
Joanne, thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your awesome smile.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you more than ever.
So nice
you
guys, and
you keep punching.
Yeah,
I will.
Exactly. Keep punching.
Bracelet on.
Nice. Nice.
Every time I go into work, everyone's like, "Let me see your bracelet."
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I love it, but yeah.
Thank you, Joanne.
All right, thank you guys so much.
You be well. You let us know. You let us know.
I will. Yeah, we'll try and hopefully some good updates coming up soon.
Absolutely.
Okay, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
My God, what a trooper.
Unbelievable.
Wow. I mean, just to see the energy and the positivity coming off of her. I don't think I could be that brave if I were in her shoes. I would probably be curled up in a fetal position, crying and just, I mean, but she's going at it, man. She's right. What other option does she have? Either you face it or you hide from it.
Yeah.
If you face it, the odds are way more in your favor. And I think just seeing that strength and seeing how Rocky helps with that in her way is inspiring. And I just man, you're not kidding, Stacy. Everybody does love her. I've seen the posts online. A lot of people going back and forth about support and just an outpouring of support for her. So man, I'm glad we have her on our podcast. She's an inspiration.
Yeah, she's amazing. Like every time you see people that have cancer or what have you, anyone I've seen that is like her, that is, fighter, tough, doesn't let it get them down, just keeps going, lives for the moment. They seem to be the ones that always do the best.
Yeah.
You could just, she came on, she's in a great mood, she's, laughing. Happy. That's like you said, I don't know if I could do that. That's unbelievable.
Right.
Really.
Right.
She's inspiring. Unbelievable.
For sure. Yeah. And one of my nursing jobs, I worked at a breast center for 3 years. And and I think the far too many women, pass of breast cancer, but most do very, very well. And that's why I'm telling her, I'm like, you're going to do great, because the breast cancer diagnosis and the treatment it's one of the most researched, most tested, and most well-treated cancers of all of them. And I've watched many women go through, and like you said, Anthony, I've watched many people go through chemo and treatment, and it's, I don't know, it's that outlook. And she's so positive and so can do, and so we're going to do it. We're going to beat this. I mean, she, when we were first talking several weeks ago, she was like, I got it. We got this. I'm all good. And I'm just like, wow, you're amazing. And and I watched it for 3 years. Those women did dynamite, and she is going to do very, very well. I have no doubt. So
glad she was on.
Yeah. We wish her all the best. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
for sure.
Yo, you done good, Joanne. We're
definitely gonna keep bothering her.
I'd like to harass her a few more weeks from now. We'll check in and I don't know, bring her back on and get her laughing a little bit, or maybe she'll get us laughing a little bit.
I think she got us laughing. For
I know. I think so too.
Tell her a few jokes. That was pretty good.
So listen, before we end this podcast, before we take off, before we get out of here, before we get on the Mayflower, before we get on the mothership and sail off to the great beyond for another week.
Before we get on the Millennium Falcon.
On the Millennium Falcon. Now that's a ride out of here.
See what I did there? That's a ride out of here.
I like that. You see that? That's what I call class. I love that.
See what I did?
I love that. So what are we promoting this week? What do we want to put out there for people to know about?
Shameless plugs.
Shameless plugs.
Yeah. Okay. I have two. So right. And, in keeping with our theme, people who have faced some major medical issues, there's Karina. We're going to be, Karina sent us in about a 1.5-minute video about what she was born with. And I believe, I haven't listened to it in a few weeks. I believe it was cerebral palsy. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. But yes, so she sent in a 1.5 minutes, and she has Sylvester Stallone, Romania. And she is adorable, and she has some great pictures, but she has some major medical issues that she's facing. And she's like, hey, that Rocky attitude keeps her going. And then I also want to promote Fight Story, John Messina's Fight Story. We don't have a date yet. He's going to be letting us know, and we want to have him on as well. Yeah. And I told him as soon as you have the release date, we would love to have you on to promote it. But the people he's featuring have faced a lot of them have faced major medical obstacles or health obstacles. And so that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see that.
Three or four of the people he's interviewed for this subject that he's doing. I don't know if it's a documentary or if it's going to be a like a series, whatever it is. I've been fortunate to spend some time with these people, and they are some of the strongest, most courageous people who have had some of the biggest odds in front of them.
The third plug, if you will, is one of his subjects is Nancy Keep Punchin, because
it is.
And so I think she has her own episode, or at least section of an episode, and she's amazing. I remember going through her Instagram page going, oh my God. And she transformed her body as well. She's like doing competitions and everything. She's amazing.
50 years. She was I think 20-some years in the Canadian special forces, armed forces, and both her and her husband. And she, as a matter of fact, I just ran into her in Philadelphia while they were filming John's segments. They were at the Rocky Steps doing some filming. Her and another friend of mine, Rose, they were there, and it was nice to see them and just kind of chat with them and see that they're all, alive and kicking, and Rocky's still being a motivating force. And Messina has captured this, and all the more power to him.
I can't wait to see it.
I want to see it. I can't wait to see it.
Definitely. Anthony, what's going on? Anything you want to promote, push out there?
I got nothing. Oh, I want to put out. You got an interview coming up, don't you?
Yes.
I'm putting that out for you.
Yeah. Yo, thank you. I wasn't gonna say anything. So Lisa Bradshaw, she is she's got an incredible life story, and I think eventually we're going to get her on the podcast here. She's a real go-getter. Has had a lot of challenges, some pretty brutal things, and yet she perseveres. And it's all, Rocky was huge motivation to her. So she has this show where she's from, and so we did it yesterday, this Zoom thing, and it was really good. It's like a high-end podcast TV show thing. It was really good, and so I'm excited about it. So when I get the links, you'll get the links. We'll put it out there,
and everyone will get the links.
And everyone will get the links.
Links in the bio.
Links in the bio.
Now, those watching, I'm not going to say anything just yet, but I'm just going to tease this.
Oh boy.
One of us, I'm not saying who, one of us might be getting up with the Roosters in the future. One of us might actually know Betsy the cow. One of us might have stall duty. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying anything else. Okay. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay.
I'm just going to throw that out there. And we'll just, Stacy, what is above your head?
Those are my two Italian stallions.
Wow. Okay.
Like that one, but real.
But real. Right. Exactly. So I'm not going to say anything else. I just thought, you just never know when life is going to come around and make some changes.
Where it's going to take you.
Right.
You never know. Anthony, tomorrow you could literally wake up and, win the lottery and we'd never see you again.
No.
Rocky Files podcast. See you, suckers.
No, all of a sudden it would just be so like, it would be like on television.
Yeah, right.
It would just be like, I wouldn't just quit. It would this thing would just transform to some national spot.
Twice a week because he'd have the time.
Twice a week.
Twice a week because we'd have more time.
Right.
He'd build us a studio that we can all just
That's it, like a real studio.
Yeah. A moving studio so we can go to all our headquarters.
Exactly.
You got it. You got it.
That's awesome.
Headquarters.
Guys, I have had another wonderful podcast.
Yeah. So great to be back.
It is. 2 weeks we were gone, and man, it feels like my good friends are. I'm not around my good friends, and so I get a little wonky. I start talking to strangers, asking if they want to be friends, and they're like, "No, go away, fool." No. I said, "Well, you're not like Anthony and Stacy. You're not." They go, "Dude, do I have to call the cops? Get the hell away from me." So
you want to talk about Rocky? No.
No.
Oh, okay. No,
You're a Schwarzenegger guy?
Yeah. Oh, right.
He's out.
Van Damme. You like Van Damme?
Oh.
Get the hell out of here. Have you seen Van Damme dance?
Ooh.
Oh, my God.
Bloodsport.
Oh, what a Bloodsport. Oh, yeah.
But we're back.
We're back, and now we're going, and we'll be back.
But we're back.
Very soon.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Keep punching. Boom.
Good night, everybody.
Hello, everyone. My name is Karina, and I'm from Romania. I am 41 years old. I am a big fan of Sylvester Science when I had 4 years old. My parents had VHS with Rocky and Rambo movies and putting me to watch. I admire very much Sylvester. When I was little, I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. After I saw the first Rocky movie, my life was changed in a good sense. The movie was helping me very much with my health problem who I had. I fought a lot to get over this health problem. The movie Rocky was inspired me very much. I have a message for all people with health problems. Keep fighting for the disease you have and never give up. Oh, of course, I have a message and for Sylvester. Sylvester, I'm a big fan of you since when I was a little girl. You are a true inspiration for me. Thank you very much for creating the movie Rocky. Your role in this movie was changing my life. I wish you continued health and success in future movies in which you will play.